uncooperative spouses is worse than if they will fight you. And I say this because I had 2 calls today where the parties had filed on their own their spouse, and their spouse is doing nothing. They won't talk to them. They won't engage. They won't discuss settlement. I mean, they're amicable, I suppose, but they're just not going to participate. And that is almost worse from a procedural process with the court than if they were to fight. And here, let me set this up. These 2 clients I spoke to today, they are in a stalemate, meaning they filed, they served, and they can't bring their spouse to the table to reach an agreement, to even discuss the terms. So what can you do? You can try and do a default judgment. They're very difficult to get through the court. I can guarantee how they filed their petition is wrong because you have to do it totally different. To file a default judgment, divorce type case, no agreement, you do have to file your petition completely different than you normally would. I'm not going to go over that in this particular daily perspective, but you're going to have to bring them to the table. If they were to fight, at least they're engaged and they're involved, and you could get a hearing with the court. In both these cases, they had not responded. The other party did not respond, and several months have gone by. And they said, Tim, why don't I file the 165? And I say, why? It's not going to do anything. It's just going to make it more difficult because now they can't file a response and you can't finish the judgment. So why do that? And anyways, even if you did that, the 165 can be set aside by the court and then they can file the response. It's just better if parties are involved. If they are engaged or a response is filed, and we had clients that were amicable, and then they fell out of agreement. But what we did is a response was filed in that case. They wanted to have that response filed for some reason. Most of our cases, we don't do that because it's not necessary if you guys are completely amicable. But because a response was filed, that gave us the ability to file a trial setting request to get them into court, to get them in the system to move. Then the court will move them through the process and they will have to be engaged in that process.